everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my TBR for the Bucket-list-athon. This readathon is hosted by Danny Dabbles. I'm gonna leave all the links and all the information that you need down below, so go check her out and check out her announcement video in case you want to join. So the Bucket-list-athon is starting on the 15th of November, which is coincidentally the day that I'm actually filming this. I have done the rolls before going away to Egypt, and I just wanted to wait until I come back to film this part because I just wanted to see how much I get read during my vacation. Turns out, not too much. So there is still a lot of my TBR that needs to be read, and I thought some of it might actually fit very well for the Bucket-list-athon. This readathon is, like I said, starting on November 15th and it's going on for a whole month, so it ends on December 15th. I thought this was a very brilliant idea by Danny because for me personally, just coming back from Egypt this week and having not read too much, I'm very happy to go into this readathon. And then after December 15th, there's kind of like the lead up to the holidays, so you don't really have too much time to read, I'm guessing. So just having this whole month that is not based on like the calendar month is perfect for me, especially. During this readathon, you're tackling your reading and also your life goals that you've had for the whole year. Maybe some goals have been left unattended for a very long time and you're kind of scrambling to finish them. So this is the time to do all of that. And since this is a very subjective matter, the board that Danny created actually helps you along with that. You can choose what corner you start off with, if it's going to be like a life goal type of situation, or if you'd rather go into your TBR, if you're going for the physical copies or the series or whatever. So you choose where you want to start and how much energy and time you want to put into this readathon. So you have the hard and the light mode. I myself decided to just go for the more easy route of this, just because I know that this is going to be a very hectic time. So I decided to go just with the easy mode, and that is to roll 5 times, get 5 prompts, 5 books, and if you land on a color twice, you have to add a roll and you have to actually reach 2 of the corners, starting with the one that you start on and then another one that you have to pass in order to complete this readathon. So I think that's all the information that you need beforehand. So let's just go into the first roll. So here we go. This is the Bucket-list-athon. I'm just going to play on my tablet for now. And we could decide between series, physical TBR, new releases, and life, and decided where we want to start. And I decided on physical TBR. Those have to go. And let's see where our 5 rolls will take us. Let's go ahead and roll for the first time. That is a 5. That means we can go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to high up to read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to arrow. We don't want that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A number generator. Hyped or 5-star prediction. I think I'm gonna go for 5-star prediction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-star prediction is my first prompt. The first roll landed us on 5-star prediction, and that's perfect because I've already mentioned this book in my latest video, the end of the year book tag, and that is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I still want to get to this. It's a highly anticipated book, and I've heard not too many people talk about it, but the ones that have been talking about it are really raving about it. So I do feel like this might be my cup of tea, especially since it's supposed to be like a very atmospheric, like going from the cover, fantasy novel with a mystery plot in it, and I always love those. So it does seem a bit darker. I don't even know too much more about the plot. Don't want to know, just want to go in and enjoy it. Roll number 2. Oh, another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Goodreads nominee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new purchase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buddy read, or a community. Oh, I think I skipped this the whole time. That would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Goodreads nominee the first time around, and now it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would actually be not the nominee but a new release. So that's kind of the same as new purchase maybe, and it would get me to the second corner that I need. But after that, I'm not sure if I like these. But I'll go to new release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. New release. Second corner done. Next up, we landed on new release, and for that I'm actually going for a book that I don't have a physical copy of yet. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, so that's perfect, and that is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. Again, I mentioned this in my end of the year tag. You'll notice I did try to match those books with these prompts just because it actually makes sense. Those are the ones that I've been meaning to get to the whole year, that I want to get to before the end of the year. And if I don't get to them by December 15th, I'm not sure if I have enough time for the last 2 weeks of the year to actually get around to them. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how they fit into this one. This one actually I could have started already because right after I filmed my end of the year book tag, I actually managed to get an ARC for this. I had been meaning to start it during my vacation. I just didn't have the right headspace to start it. So I guess I'm just gonna wait until I have the physical copy in my hands starting tomorrow. But this is a highly anticipated book and it couldn't have been a more recent release. So I thought this would actually work out perfectly. Let's go ahead. Roll number 3. A 3. Okay, that could be 1, 2, 3, new purchase. 1, 2, 3, last chance. 1, 2, 3, TBR, must reads. I think I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, new purchase. Next we landed on new purchase, and again it couldn't have been a more recent purchase because this actually just arrived today, and that is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. This again is something that I've been highly anticipating, not just because of the cover but also because of the synopsis and it being a recommendation for people who loved Legends and Lattes, A Psalm for the Wild-Billed, and The House in the Cerulean Sea, which are all favorites of mine. So this is supposed to be very cozy, a very found family-esque book. So I can't wait to get into this just to get ready for the cozy time of the year. Okay, so far I haven't done any color twice because we had light green, we have the corner piece, and then we have new purchase is this kind of beige. So let's go ahead with the 4th roll. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a physical TBR book, but that would mean I'm not sure if that counts as the same color. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a paperback edition. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a Goodreads nominee. 1, 2, 3, 4 would mean a backlist title. That would actually be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a hyped read. Do I want to go here where there's like intimidating read or continue favorite, end of year goal, or do I want to go to the paperback edition? I think I'm going to go to the paperback edition. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We landed on paperback edition, and with this I've had so many different options or ways to go, but in the end I decided on The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This I've been meaning to get to. It has dragons, it has kind of like a Mulan retelling in the sense that there is a war going on and the main character is disguising herself as a boy in order to fight. Let's be honest, this is just too beautiful not to read it right away, and it's been on my shelf for way too long already, so gotta get to this one. And for our last roll, hopefully not the same color, a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a Goodreads nominee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I was there already, would be a second time around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, favorite author, but that would also mean it's the same color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a buddy read or a community card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be either a nominee or a last chance, but last chance would also mean a color again. I don't know if I'm gonna have a buddy read in that time. So, and I don't know if I want to do a community read. I actually want to put on books. So let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with favorite author, and I'm okay with having another rule. Next up we landed on favorite author, and I went with Danielle L. Jensen. This is A Fate Inked in Blood, the first in the new saga of hers. I have loved her writing for a very long time. I do have a favorite series that is not so well known, and that is the Dark Shore series. I am hoping that next year is going to be the year that the last book of that series is released. Please, I need it. I need answers. I need all of it to come together and be amazing. I have started this one already, and it is for a video project, so I'm hoping to finally get back to this one now that all the Egypt things are done. And this, like I said, is a favorite author. She writes amazing characters, and I do think lately she tends to go a bit more into the romantasy side of things, and I'm more fantasy romance reader, so the romance aspect might not be my favorite, but I'm willing to give it a try. I've heard good things about this, so this is my pick for favorite author. Now, those were 5 books, but as you've seen, I landed on a color twice. I decided to go for favorite author instead of something else, and I was fine with rolling again, so that's what I did. So the additional roll, here we go. A 1. Great. Would be add a roll or old read. And old read would actually give us another because we already had that color. Okay, I'm regretting all the decisions. Does that mean I have to choose a book for this prompt? I'm not sure. Let's go with old read. I do want to get a lot of my physical TBR down. Old read. And we landed on old read, and that's actually perfect for, again, these months, because I'm planning on joining and hopefully sticking to the Faith Follow Along hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books. And in this read along, they're always tackling like old series that have already been finished. It's always like one book every 2 months, and they're starting a new series. In the past, I tried to participate, and then usually I read 1 or 2 books, and then I just got distracted. Hopefully this time around I actually managed to stick with it. This has been on my TBR for a long time, so it is a TBR veteran and an old read, and that is Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first in the Faithful and the Fallen series. I've heard amazing things of this author, of this writing style, of this epic fantasy series, and I have been meaning to get into it, but just because it is an older series and it is kind of a very chunky series, I never gravitate towards it. So hopefully having these live shows every 2 months, it will help me to keep on track with this one. Now, this is where I kind of messed up. In my head, I was so sure that I landed on backlist book while I was doing the actual rolls. So I thought I needed to roll again. So this is kind of like an extra. I don't actually need to read another book in order to finish this, because these 6 rolls were actually the only ones that I needed. But since I did the roll, let's go ahead and look what I landed on and see what else I might read. And because we had this color twice now, I'm gonna go ahead and roll again, hopefully for the last time. 2. 2 would get us to number generator, paperback edition, add a roll, or must reads. So let's just go ahead and end all of this with a TBR must read. So I decided to go with must reads, and I didn't actually, before starting this, write down any books because I just wanted to go ahead and roll, and I didn't think I would land on any of like the community or the must reads tiles. But since this is kind of like an extra roll that I'm doing and that I will only get to if I get to it, I decided to just go ahead and put all the books as possibilities that are still on my November TBR and also were mentioned in my end of the year book tag that I haven't already picked for a different prompt. So these are the ones that could potentially be read for this prompt, for the must reads prompt. So we have The Stardust Thief, we have The Chosen One, The Village Library Demon Hunting Society, The Dagger and the Flame, we have A Master of Jinn, we have Vilest Things, The Undermining of Twyla and Frank, and we have The Sky on Fire. All of these were either mentioned on the tag for having to be read until the end of the year or actually to be read during November. Looking at the stack that I mentioned before, I didn't actually use any books from my November TBR, so I wouldn't mind getting a book that is on my November TBR because those still need to be read anyway. But looking at my stack that I've already chosen, there are some books that I'm planning to read in November for a certain video, so I wouldn't mind either way is what I'm saying. Either I pick something from my November TBR and that would be fine, or I'll have something that I wanted to read anyway for like during November and December. I think I'm just gonna go with a random number generator, and I'm gonna start up here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Don't lose those. So let's go ahead and use a random number generator to figure out which one of these is my pick for this prompt. Let's generate 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually Violet's Things by Chloe Gong. Let me just grab this. So for must read, I will be reading Chloe Gong's Violet's Things. This is perfect because I have been wanting to like catch up with sequels, and this isn't too bad page wise. It's around 350 pages, and I actually do remember a lot from the first one, so I don't need to reread that one. I can just go in with this one, and I'm actually excited for this one because the first one was so action-packed and so amazing, and I really love the setting and the vibes of it all. So yes, glad this got picked. So these are my picks for the Bucket-list-athon. We have Violet's Thing for a must read. We have Malice for old read. We have A Fate Inked in Blood for favorite author. We have The Night Ends with Fire for a paperback. We have The Teller of Small Fortunes for recent purchase. We have the Mary E. Pearson one, I'm sorry I don't really remember the title right now, for a recent release. And then we have The Tainted Cup for a 5-star prediction. So let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next time, I hope you have all the great reads. Bye!